Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Rock Video Rental. I am Brandon, and with me, as always, is Caleb. And we are kicking off one of our patented awesomely bad months. And we're going to be talking about an awesomely bad horror movie, and that is 1981's Bloody Birthday. But before we get to that, Caleb, have you watched anything good lately?
Are you going to be proud of me?
You watched stuff?
I watched stuff. It's actually shocking too because I didn't just watch stuff, I watched a lot. I
Yes.
watched two full seasons of a show since our last episode. I mean, I don't know the last time that happened, so
Was it Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
oh yeah, absolutely. No, it was so I've always been wanting to, I don't know, I can't remember when it was or if anybody remembers, but I was watching some anime movies. Studio Ghibli, I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably the easiest thing to get you into anime. But my coworker has been giving me stuff on being like, oh, if you want to get into anime, you should watch this or watch this. So after we recorded last week, actually, I started a show, and it's a current airing anime called Solo Leveling.
Okay.
Um, and it has two seasons out. And ironically enough, the last episode of the second season just came out this past weekend. So I just blasted through everything.
Rock.
Started watching it Thursday last week, finished it Sunday. Really great show. And I mean, I've always kind of known this because my coworker and I have talked about animes. But the stories and the little bit of experience I do have with anime, I just appreciate it so much because I don't know. I feel like a lot of American films get stuck in, I don't know if I would say stereotypes or like generic things where when you go into anime, basically anything goes. Like anything can happen and they don't care, and you can get some wild, crazy stuff out there.
Rock.
So it's kind of nice and refreshing to, get out of the norm to do that. So yeah, solo leveling. I don't know. Quick synopsis. There's monsters in the world, and people have been awakening with kind of like superpowers. And this guy gets usually people you only get like superpowers in your specific level, and that's the level you're at. You're never going to get anything more. But this guy has a weird experience, and he's able to learn and grow and become stronger. And so it's kind of his story and everything, and it's, I don't know, it's a fighting anime show. So if you like animes and you haven't heard anything about it, then I would recommend it.
Rock.
Yeah, but doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot. Two full seasons.
Nice. Um, So I told you about that poster that I have that's like the 100 greatest horror movies or whatever.
Yeah.
There's actually an anime on that.
Okay.
Um, oh my gosh, now I'm like blanking on the name of it. It's called Perfect Blue. It's from
Okay.
1997. I watched part of it. It was on Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, but I was busy doing something else, and it's all in Japanese. So I'm like, I gotta watch this when I can actually read the
Yeah.
um subtitles
Hmm.
instead of just watching it in passing. But I was like, I gotta watch it so I can scratch it off that poster. And I heard it's pretty good, so
Rock.
check that out if you are interested. Um, Stuff that I watched. I watched the latest episode of Yellow Jackets. I watched the Pam and Tommy miniseries that Hulu made a couple years ago about
Okay.
Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. Oh, that was pretty good. I didn't realize that Seth Rogen was in it and he was like one of the creators of it. So that was kind of a surprise, and it's got a lot of humor in it too. So it was pretty good, but it was also like definitely an adult show. And then I watched a couple uh, horror movies. One of them is the new movie. It just came out this year. It's called Heart Eyes, and it's an interesting slasher because it's like a slasher mixed with a romantic comedy.
All right.
Yeah, it's got kind of like elements of uh romance movies, slasher movies, and comedy. And so it's kind of like a parody, but it's got a lot of stuff going on in it. But it was definitely worth a watch. I thought it was a little bit too goofy at times with its comedy, but I don't know. I was entertained by it at least. And then I haven't finished it yet. I turned it off so I could come up here and record the show. But Totally Killer. It's about this girl who is able to go back in time to 1987 and try to save uh her mom and her friends from being killed by this they call him the Sweet 16 killer.
Okay.
Yeah. Like her mom gets killed years later. So, and like all of her friends were killed though, like on their Sweet 16.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. It just like uh it's got some funnier stuff in it too, or it's like a girl from 2024 goes back to 1987. So it's like the whole culture shock thing. Or like this she tries to get into a party and this guy who's like a football player tells her to leave and he like shoves her and she's like, "Dude, unwanted touch." And then he just like picks her up and carries her out, so it's kind of funny. But and then she's just like, "God, people are like so mean." But yeah, I hope to finish that relatively soon. And then other than those, I've just been watching some YouTube stuff. I've been watching a lot of Todd in the Shadows. He's a music critic. He does a lot of videos about one hit wonders and like how they started their career, how their hit got big, what they did after that, and then like if they deserved better. And it's pretty interesting. He's got a whole bunch of those. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So I guess we better blow out the candles and celebrate Bloody Birthday. Bloody Birthday is from 1981 and is directed by Ed Hunt. The plot is three children are born at the height of an eclipse of the sun. 10 years later, they begin to murder the people around them, even their family members. The cast we have Lori Lethen as Melinda Cordell as Mrs. Brody, Julie Brown as Beverly Brody, Joe Penny as Mr. Harding, Casey Martell as Timmy, Elizabeth Hoy as Debbie, Andrew Freeman as Stephen, and Billy Jacoby, um, Billy Jane as Curtis. Uh, he went on to later change his name, I believe.
Yeah. I think I see that
Yeah.
too.
And yeah, and he was in a lot of stuff. Um, I don't know how many times I've seen this movie, probably at least, I think four,
Okay.
something like that. It's just kind of a interesting movie, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily say it's great, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad because it's got some things going for it, but the whole idea is rather absurd.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by it being an awesomely bad. It it was certainly kind of clunky, and some of the acting
Hmm.
was cheesy, over the top kind of thing. Maybe some of the things that you kind of made me think of a little bit of Troll 2.
Yeah.
a little bit. Definitely not nearly Troll 2, but like a little bit of it. The other movie that really made me think of was do you remember Bad Seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Killer Kid movie.
Hmm.
There's a lot of those. Um, I guess now going back, if I was to pick a movie similar to this that I would have put more on the awesomely bad, I would have put Beware Children at Play,
Okay.
which is also another Killer Kid movie. And it's made by Trauma, so it's completely and utterly ridiculous. And there's like some terrible special effects in it that are funny. Um, that might may have to be on a list sometime. But yeah, it's been a little while since I've watched this one, so I guess it was kind of an excuse to watch it. Um, yeah, the whole plot of like, oh, they were born during an eclipse, so part of their personality is missing.
Yeah. Well, I
But
love
for all of them, it's like the same part of their personality.
yeah, I love how they try to explain it with the whole astrology thing through the movie. Yeah, because what was it? It was supposed to be like their empathy, I think.
Cons
That is supposed to be because of the planet Saturn or some weird thing, and because the sun blocked it. I don't know. It was really weird.
Yeah, um the older sister of the main boy, she said she's like, "Oh, it's their conscience that's missing." Oh
Have you ever?
gosh.
I mean, like, not saying it at all like tied to astrology and everything, but dude, people who don't have a conscience like freak me the crap out.
Yeah.
Like they are just I don't know, man. Like I don't get how you get there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, they're not usually to the end of like, hey, I feel like killing someone just because.
Well, you know how they get there? I said they were born during eclipse, dude. It explains it all.
Yeah, because everything because everybody's an astrology girl.
Yes.
What's your
Well, I mean,
sign?
this was I mean, this was shot in 1980, so maybe.
Oh man.
I mean, what else was going on? Uh, I don't know, like the kids. We you kind of touched a little bit on the acting. Um, I thought honestly some of the stronger acting in it was by the non-adults. You were talking about the kids and the teenagers.
Well, yeah, the one adult that I thought was going to be the best was actually the first person killed.
The
Oh, well,
cop.
not the first person killed, I guess, but like the first adult killed.
Yeah, the
But
cop.
yeah,
Debbie's dad.
yeah, he seemed like I don't know, he kind of made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street dad, cop dad.
Oh yeah, John Saxon.
Yeah. Yeah, where he's just like he's capable, he's good, he's convincing, like he's
Mhm.
performing well, but then they killed him right away, and then all the other adults sucked.
Yeah, the mom wasn't horrible.
Now,
She was okay, I'll say. But I mean, I think uh what's the one who played Joyce, Lori Lethin. She was the older sister, the astrology one. She
mhm.
wasn't too bad. She
Yeah,
was pretty solid. And then I mean, as far as the kids, I mean, as far as kid acting, they were decent. The kid who played Steven was by far the worst.
yeah. Well, Debbie
Because the one who,
was creepy as crap.
yeah, Debbie did a good job. Curtis, Billy Jane, Billy Jacoby. He was pretty solid and creepy. And then even Casey Martell, the one who played Timmy, the main character, like he did a pretty decent job for a kid.
Yeah, um,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a movie where the kid actors are stronger than the adults,
yeah.
but this is one of them.
Well, one thing, kind of going back real quick to the mom, Brody, Mrs. Brody, who had to
Yeah,
watch her husband die. Well, not watch him die, but bury her husband,
Experience.
bury her oldest daughter.
Yeah.
The second funeral, funeral for her daughter, or the
Hmm.
one for her daughter. Oh my gosh, that scene is so bad. So much of it so bad. It totally made her freak out moment or meltdown or whatever you want to call it. Totally made me think of pieces. Um,
Oh. Oh yeah.
what was it like? Damn you, or oh no,
Bastard.
there you go.
Yes. Linda George.
Yes.
Oh, that scene still cracks me up. I think about that randomly throughout the day sometimes because I still think like everybody gets distracted by Linda Day George screaming bastard, but don't pay attention to the guy playing Kendall who you could tell after the second one he's about ready to say something and then she screams out that last bastard and he stops and it's like he's just waiting.
Are you done? We
Yeah, it's
good?
like okay, she does three and then it's my turn. Oh gosh. Yeah, a little bit of overacting there. Um, Slightly. Lots of weird stuff in this movie, aside from the whole astrology explanation. How about the movie starts out? It's like,
The
was it too expensive to shoot inside of a hospital or a room that was dressed up to be a hospital?
right.
They just show this establishing shot of a hospital, and there's like a bunch of people talking. It's like, oh, she's going into labor. How are the other two?
Oh, look, a baby. Oh, look, another baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, three babies.
Yeah, it almost felt like, now correct me if I'm wrong, the doctor guy, was he at the birthday party? Or was that somebody else at the birthday party?
Um, I guess I didn't piece that together.
Because if
I
he
don't know. Your
was,
guess is as good as mine.
he looked like somebody looked like the doctor at the birthday party. So I was kind of under the impression that the doctor was only in the opening scene, though. And if that's the case, it almost feels like the beginning scene was just thrown in there, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, we should probably do something to kind of like set the stage. So let's show this guy driving up to the hospital, talk to a nurse outside, and then just do like voiceover.
A little exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Also, this movie does not take too long to get into the killing,
Mm-mm.
which is kind of crazy. There's really not a whole heck of a lot of build-up. Uh, the first one we get is the couple that's like uh making out or whatever, and it's like, do you want to play ambulance? That whole line was so dumb. The guy's like, do you want to play ambulance? She's like, what's ambulance? And he's like, well, this is the ambulance. And he shows her his hand. He's like, and then when you want me to stop, you say red light. And I'm like, bro, ambulances don't have to stop at red lights. They can
Yep.
go right through
Saw that coming.
them. Yeah.
Dude, wasn't that like something? So this was like a high school couple. Wasn't that something that was like, I don't know, middle school? Maybe like, I
I
mean,
right.
I feel like I heard
Uh,
that thing when I was like 8. But anyways,
yeah, they get killed, and the music that's being played when they get killed is okay. So I had my notes. Is this totally just the music from Friday the 13th, or is it just such a bad ripoff that it sounds exactly the same? Lots of high pitch reeds. And I was waiting for the dun 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 dun. Or yeah, it's totally just a ripoff. Um, Man, other weird things in this. The scene with the cop talking to the kids. Do you know what murder is?
yeah, dude, I had that down. Like, what the heck, dude? You're talking a bunch of what, like 8 to 10 year olds, maybe?
Uh, yeah.
Like, you don't have that kind of conversation. Oh my gosh. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, nobody thought about this. Okay, let me correct myself. If the police ever have a conversation with kids that age, sure, but like they frame it differently. Like, hey kids, like make sure you're safe out there. Was anybody out by the cemetery? Did you see anything? Well, there was an incident with some kids, and we just want to make sure you stay safe. Blah blah blah. Something something. But then it's just like, murder.
Is
Uh,
anybody missing a jump rope?
yeah. What's murder? No, this is real life murder. People die. It's like, dang, man.
Yeah, a little intense for God, what are they, 10 years old? Yeah, 10.
Yeah, they're supposed to be 10.
Yeah. Yikes. Thanks, Officer Douchebag. Uh the oh, and then when Debbie's dad dies, he slips on a skateboard,
Mm-hmm.
falls down, and then
Oh, well, no,
or
they
wait,
faked
she
it.
sets up the skateboard.
Yeah.
He steps around it. Steven comes out of nowhere and hits him with a baseball bat and then like bashes him in the head a bunch of times. And then Debbie makes it look like he slipped on a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, Daddy fell. And then he's got multiple blunt force trauma wounds to his head. Like
Right.
that's not suspicious.
Nope. And it's not suspicious that her dad dies a weird death and then her sister gets brutally killed.
Yeah.
Like,
And Debbie's on the floor cleaning up red liquid off the carpet. I dropped nail polish.
nope, don't see
Uh,
any connection here. It doesn't make sense. Now, I will say
checks
that
out.
apparently the deputy that was beneath the sheriff was not very bright.
I mean, he was a
Um,
horrible actor too.
yes, not very bright and a very bad actor.
Yeah, I had there's a there's a part where he's talking to one of the girls. He's like, "You sure you're okay? You sure? Okay. 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 Okay."
Well,
Like great acting, dude.
well, and then he kept putting his hands on his hips, like, "Oh, I don't even know what to do about this."
It's like Barney Fife. Uh, yeah, that guy was pretty brutal. Um, we talked about Debbie's sister. She so the two boys, Curtis and Steven, are at her house, and then all of a sudden, um, her sister comes home, and she goes in her room and turns music on, and then it's like they rush to Debbie's room, and it's like she knows exactly what's gonna happen. She's got a hole in her closet that goes to her sister's closet, so she can make the boys pay a quarter to watch her sister get dressed.
Yeah.
And it's like, is this just a known thing? Does she do this every day when she comes home? She puts the same song on, and then she takes her shirt off, takes her bra off, dances around, admires herself in the mirror, and then puts clothes on
It seemed like that's what they were implying.
with really crappy music. She comes home and plays this crappy song, and that's when she gets her boobs out. Only in an 80s horror movie.
Anything can happen in an 80s horror movie.
As long as it's brutal kills or partial nudity.
Right.
Uh, and it's like, I don't understand the whole thing. And it was obvious that this character was like very proud of herself. Did you notice that like she walked around like basically with her arms pinned behind her back the whole time
Oh, no, I didn't notice
and
that.
sticking her chest out? I'm like, okay.
Well, another funny thing about like these kills and everything. So they killed that first couple in the graveyard for like no reason. Like they were just
Yeah, they're
there.
just there.
Um, and then they killed the dad because apparently he's an easy target, which seemed extremely weird.
Yeah.
Um, but then they killed the sister, but that was kind of because she was being a pain or something. But then later on, like the Curtis kid, right? I think it
Hmm.
was the Curtis one, was thinking about killing Timmy and his sister, but then he gets distracted because there's a couple that's like banging in a van, and he's just like, "Hey, what a perfect opportunity to kill some people who are naked in a van."
Yeah, well, and before that, Curtis tries to lock Timmy in an old refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis is like, "This is cool. Let's go in." And I'm like, "Did you not see that episode of Punky Brewster where her friend went to the refrigerator and almost died?" It was a very special episode. Uh, and then he like bails on Timmy. Timmy's able to get out, and he's trying to tell his sister what happened, and she doesn't believe him because he lies all the time. But yeah, and then Curtis is gonna kill. The whole time Curtis is carrying around this gun, and I'm like, this is how you know that's from the '80s because he brings a gun with him to school, and like he holds it on the teacher, and the teacher's like, Curtis, stop playing around. He's
Yeah.
like, it's a replica. And she's like, I told you to stop bringing that.
Yep.
Now, like, you go to school and even, like, say the word gun out of context, you're getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, they also killed the teacher, too.
Yeah. Well, that one makes a little bit more sense because like they don't like her, they hate her. Like
Yeah, and he just shoots her, and I was like, it's just been revoked.
oh, so perfect. Yeah, well like so killing the teacher makes sense. They don't like the teacher, so they killed her. Killing the
Yeah.
sister makes sense because the younger sister doesn't really like the older sister.
Well, and the older sister burnt her scrapbook, too, she had of all the murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um but outside
Killing the two couples that were just out in a car doing it.
yeah.
Like, that didn't make much sense.
No, it they were totally I think I put it in my notes. I was just like, dang, these kids are going specifically after teen couples. Are they trying to be a bigger cock blocker than Jason?
Yeah, it's true. I think they
So
reached that level. Uh,
yeah, but then so who else did they kill? They killed the sheriff, which didn't really make sense because like he wasn't a problem. Like there was no backstory. Like was he supposed to be like a controlling dad and didn't let her do anything, so she wanted to kill him? There was no context. Um, they attempted to kill Timmy, which kind of made sense because they thought that he may rat on them for killing the sheriff.
mhm.
And then they attempt to kill what was it? Was her name Joyce or Timmy's older
Yeah.
sister?
Timmy's
Whatever.
sister, yeah.
Because she started kind of connecting the dots that, something's up with these kids.
Yeah, so Curtis has the elaborate plan to make her look crazy,
Yeah,
where
which
he's like at the birthday party and he's like putting icing on the cake and she comes in and yells at him and then she comes in again and he's doing it again and he's got a thing of ant poison. So she thinks that he poisoned them and then she freaks out and then there's nothing wrong with it. He didn't do it.
yeah, which I'm not sure that rat poison would go into take effect that quickly, but I don't
Oh
know. Whatever.
yeah.
Who did anybody else die though?
Not until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny too when Curtis is going after Timmy and the sister because Debbie has Joyce and Timmy come and babysit her.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they set up their um attack or whatever, and he's got his gun, he's firing it and everything. And oh, the kids like it was because it was after that after the kids like tried to kill Timmy, they had him like tied up and everything. And that's when Debbie's like she's like crazy manipulative
Yeah, for sure.
and like pretends that she's not the one doing it, and that's how she ends up getting them uh to babysit her or whatever. And that's when Curtis shows up with a gun and starts firing, and um then they're like in a fight for their lives with a 10-year-old with a gun.
Yeah.
But I do respect the fact that Curtis fired 6 shots, then had to duck into the kitchen to reload. He's already got Steven Seagal beat there for realism.
Well, that was the first time because then after that he took like 7 or 8 shots.
Always,
So,
dude.
but then
Uh,
also I love like have you fired very many guns?
no, I've fired BB guns. That's it, dude.
Okay. Dude, those guns are extremely power like that in real life if that kid shot that gun it would have gone back and probably smashed him in the face.
Broke his glasses.
Yeah. Because I know it's not like a Magnum or anything. Like well not a Magnum, what is it? A Desert Eagle. There we go. It's not like a
Yeah.
Desert
But
Eagle
it's still a
type huge
Magnum, yeah.
50 cal, but it's yeah, it's a Magnum. It's got huge power to it. Like you have to have a strong grip on it and it would have a huge amount of kick. So not saying that he couldn't shoot it, but the fact that he's running around with it with one hand and acting like he can shoot it, it's just like, is anybody trying to like stay on top of the realism here? Like
Right.
anybody shot a gun? Like any firearm specialist on this movie? Like, come on.
Maybe he just has that crazy strength.
Um,
Who knows? Oh gosh. And then I like how Steven just gets put into a trunk and he's like the worst actor ever, so he's just like, hey, let me out. Let me out of here.
yeah,
And they like uh Curtis runs out of bullets and then Timmy tackles him and ties him up. And Debbie escapes out the window and into the road and her mom shows up. Perfect timing.
oh yeah,
And then they escape, and then it's like the mom believes that Debbie is like innocent, and then like they're like running away, and it's like, oh, your name is Beth now, and she's like, and I want you to be good, no more being naughty or something like that. She's like, I promise. And then they show that she lowered the jack on a truck and it landed on a guy and squashed him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like setting up for a sequel that never came.
Well, I mean, it's the typical horror movie where it's just like you think it's safe, but it's really never over. Um,
Debbie's still out there.
little Debbie, little tortilla boy. Um, but yeah, it was kind of a weird thing where it's just like, okay, does the mom really believe that her daughter's innocent, or is it one of those things where she's just trying to keep her daughter alive because like she's the only
That's all
thing
she's
that
got left.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit difficult to tell. Not saying that I think that was all that important, but I was kind of curious what their uh, intention was with that.
Yeah. I guess it could have gone both ways. I've got no place else to go. Uh, but trying to think of anything else that I may have missed. I like how Debbie's able to shoot a bow and arrow through a small peephole in her closet.
Oh yeah, strong enough to like pierce somebody's skull into their brain and kill them in one shot.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, not sure how that works, but yeah. Anything else you want me to get into trivia and facts?
Let's do trivia and facts.
Oh right. Not a whole heck of a lot for this movie. I thought there would be more, to be honest, since there's like a boutique release Blu-ray of this. I can't remember who made it. So Lori Lethin said that she liked that she got to do all of her own stunts. She said, I'm kind of an outdoor gal and also a bit of a tomboy, so the idea of running around doing my stunts and being chased was really fun for me.
Hmm.
She was the one that played Joyce. Despite popular belief, the film was Despite popular belief that the film was shelved for 5 years after being shot, it has been confirmed that it was shot in early 1980 and released the following year.
Oh, okay.
So, Lori Lethin said that the mood during shooting Bloody Birthday was actually quite lighthearted, despite the film's disturbing content. Her young co-stars were often laughing in between takes during production.
Bunch of little psychopaths.
Right? According to the
I
director, the murder sequences were originally shot to be more graphic, but the stronger footage was edited out in the final cut.
lame.
The film's young actors were not allowed to work past a certain time in the evening, which was sometimes problematic. On one occasion, the children had to be pulled out in the middle of the shooting um, of one night scene, much to the producer's dismay.
What? That's that's weird.
Yeah.
I could understand more about not being able to work them beyond a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But like if you're shooting a film, like you gotta shoot at night sometimes.
Right.
Huh. Interesting.
An early title for the movie was Happy Birthday, but the title was changed to avoid confusion with the 1980s slasher movie Happy Birthday to Me,
Hmm.
which was released the following month.
Yeah.
Director slash writer Ed Hunt came up with the angle of the children being evil because of their birth during an eclipse after reading an article about astrology. The article claimed that astrology influences the deaths of presidents sitting in the office every 20 years, which the character of Joyce mentions later in the film.
Yeah. That was, I mean, I don't know how much of that's true. That was semi interesting.
Yeah. So I don't have any budget or box office numbers. Couldn't
What?
find them anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about anything.
So grades?
Great.
IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh man. Um IMDb, I guess
It might be
mm,
higher than you think it would be.
6.4.
It is a 5.7.
Really?
Yeah.
When you said higher, I kind of like jumped up a little bit. So that was obviously jumping up too far. Rotten Tomato critic 60%.
Dude, 75.
Oh, that's
How?
that's very weird. And then audience, okay, audience is gonna be smarter. Let's go with 69.
36.
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe they went a little bit too crazy there.
Yeah, I think it probably should be more like 57 and 36.
Yeah, or like
uh,
50-40. Yeah,
yeah. I think you went first the last time. I don't remember. I guess I'll go first.
rock.
This is a movie I've seen a few times. It was when I marked off my list of slasher movies from the 80s that I need to watch. I've talked about it before. I got like this huge list of movies that I've seen. This was one of them. I think because I saw uh the VHS cover art, which is like a cake with finger candles and like blood on it. And it's like one of those cool old like hand drawn uh posters that lots of horror movies had at that time.
Yeah.
Um so I was like, oh man, I gotta watch this, and especially when I found out it was kids killing people. That just cracked me up. And I dude, it wasn't even until like probably the third time I watched this movie that I realized the kid that plays Curtis was the horny younger brother in the movie Just One of the Guys,
Okay.
which is I've seen a whole bunch of times. Um, and he showed up in Golden Girls a few times as uh, Blanche's grandson or nephew or something like that.
Hmm.
But and he's been in odds and ends of stuff too. He's a pretty decent actor. Like he really kind of came into his own later on. And I feel like I know his brother is also an actor, but I feel like he's got a couple siblings that are actors. His brother was in Tremors with
Okay.
Kevin Bacon, which I just noticed that this past year because I saw that movie in a theater and I was like, oh my god, he looks like Billy Jacoby. And then I saw the credits and his last name was Jacoby. So, yeah. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5. I mean, it's pretty flawed, but it's got some kind of corny things to it. It doesn't really waste too much time. There's not really like too many crazy slow parts in it. And just the whole novelty idea of kids killing people, I feel like it's handled pretty well because the kids are decent actors. The girl that played Debbie showed up in quite a few things too. I noticed her like watching movies, but I can't remember what it was I seen her in now.
Rock.
But what about you?
Yeah, so I didn't go quite as high. I was it's not it's kind of an interesting movie for awesomely bad. I think it would kind of fit more in one of our horror months because it wasn't really all that bad. Uh it- Ironically enough, the kids really saved this movie.
Hmm.
It's entertaining and I don't know if I would say fun, but like it moves at a decent pace. It's short, it's to the point. Um it's rather bizarre. I was really kind of surprised at how quickly they kind of revealed what was going on because I thought Timmy may have been the kid um, who was causing all the problems.
Little
But
twist.
yeah, a little plot twist. But yeah, it wasn't anything super unique or special, but it was a entertaining horror movie. And they focused more on the kids, which was the strongest part of the movie. So I
Yeah.
landed at 3.5 out of 5. Kind of in the middle. I mean, right there, three and a half is in the middle there. So I thought 3.5 was appropriate. So,
Rock. I just looked it up, and Debbie was in the Blues Brothers
oh,
that we
really?
watched not too long ago. Yeah, I think I remember she was at like a dinner table or something when they're in a restaurant.
Huh.
It's like a family, but and she was also in another slasher movie from 1981 called X-Ray. It's also called Hospital Massacre, and I watched that one not too long ago. I've got that one on CED,
Interesting.
but yeah. So that is the first movie of Awesomely Bad Month. If you guys are liking the show, please subscribe and share. You can follow us on social media. We're on pretty much every platform. Check out YouTube, check out TikTok for more content. And if you like awesomely bad stuff, you can go back and check out all the other awesomely bad movies we've done. We've done quite a few of them, including some movies we've done twice. So, yeah, fun stuff. Come by next time. We're going to be talking about a movie that was lost for a while and then completed and put together just like a few years ago. And that is New York Ninja. It's as awesome as it sounds, and we'll be talking about that one next week. But until then, as always, be kind and rewind.